Let's now rejoin the bowling action over at the Qatar Bowling Center, where we have our very own Remy Ong in the gold medal playoff. He squares off against another Korean, Jo Nam-lee, and we'll be bringing you back to diving much later on. Let's go over to bowling.
Match play earlier on, so 1771 in the long oil and 1997 in the short, so it'll be interesting to see whether he can overcome.
It will. Going to have to play extremely well, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, the men's master.
We saw signs of what he's capable of in that last performance, his victory for the second, third place playoff. He put together some fine scores. And he's going to have to do the same all over again.
So Nam Jo will be leading off.
Number one in terms of his points tally. 2 days of competition, and watch for a very measured, patient build-up by this man. I know none of them will be hurried and rushed, but he does make sure that everything's absolutely right.
Very solid hit.
Here's the start. Here's the first strike on the board. And here's the reply of Remy Ong, a left-hander.
Quite impressive.
We have a contest on here. 2 games, remember, to decide the overall Masters champion. But lack for support. And just right. So a strike apiece. Opening game. First frame. And turn of Singapore's Remy Ong. There's the double.
Remy just showing versatility there, his ability to score both on short and long.
And however you look at it, it's
Very nice hit.
just right, isn't it? There's his score after 2 frames. Trying to match that. Here's Nam Jo, Korea's representative in this Masters final.
Flush in the cup.
And nothing to choose between these 2 finalists. Perfect. Once you've worked on that technique and you've got the right line and you're bowling well, as both of these are, How much would you say the mental side of the game, Michael, plays at this stage when you get to a final, for example?
Probably it is the majority, as in 90% of it would be the mental game and 10% would be the physical. Pretty much the key is, just watch his shot.
Yep.
Yes,
Same result, another strike.
the key is basically when bowlers are online and bowling a good delivery is to switch off and just pretty much go into cruise control. Just avoid all distractions, avoid all thoughts, not overanalyse, just go out there and bowl. The repetition of the shots.
And they're both doing that very well indeed. Still to see any points dropped at this early stage of this first game. Always thought it was going to be a good tussle this. We've seen what Singapore's Remy Ong could do in the second, third playoff, and he's continuing with that sort of form.
Whoa.
And
Hard break.
this leaves the 1 pin standing. Record goes.
To leave a cold 9 pin from a solid pocket hit. Very unlucky.
And that's why sometimes whatever you do, it could be as good as you could anticipate, and something will prevent that final pin from going down. And we've seen other examples where, you know, we've had that lucky rebound, the ricochet, they've taken it out.
That's why I suppose at times when you get the lucky falls, you have to accept them as payback for shots like that.
Yeah, and I suppose as we've seen, it tends to even itself out. It did in the women's, you know, get a bit of luck, you get a, as you say, heartache, and then maybe there'll be a touch of luck goes his way a little later in the final.
Yes.
You'd like to think so. So we're in the Masters final. This is what it's all about. For the prize, which of these two players are going to become Masters champion? From Singapore,
He certainly shot that one a little bit wider.
Remy Ong, and needs a bit to do. Yes, he did.
Missing the head pin completely. One thing you cannot do on the heavy or the long oil.
He's missed number 1 pin.
Well, basically push it too wide because the ball will struggle to come back.
To finish off the spare.
Nicely.
He's a very composed and focused young man. Knows the job required. And he's putting up a more than decent fight. Up against a player who's averaged better scores over 2 days of competition and has started very brightly indeed.